Hello! In a recent video, we said that the month of July is the final month of interview scheduling in the diversity visa program. As we are now in the month of July 2023, many DV 2023 applicants are asking whether they will still be scheduled for interview in this year's program. That is what we are talking about in today's video. Welcome as we go into it. So, as a DV 2023 applicant, will you still be scheduled in this year's program? To answer that question, I must say that everyone does not have the same chances of being scheduled in this year's program. Some cases have higher chances of being scheduled than others. And based on that, what I have done is I have divided the cases that are yet to be scheduled for interview in the DV 2023 program into 5 different groups, which I'm going to share with you in a moment. But before I do, let me make this comment. Those of you who have been following the channel for a number of months now, around the end of last year, that is at the beginning of the DV 2023 program, I made a number of videos in which I reiterated the approach that is being applied to the DV 2023 program. I did that so much to the extent that it appeared like a kind of repetition. Now, it is that approach that I spoke about at the time that has affected some of you who should have otherwise been interviewed by this time. What that approach has done is it has given advantage to those who submitted their DS-260 in the first few months following the release of the DV 2023 lottery results. As those forms were being submitted, they were being processed, and once they completed processing and their case number became current, they were moved into their embassy queue. And so that put such cases ahead of those who submitted their DS-260s in later months. It is based on that approach that I have divided your cases into 5 different groups. So let's consider the different groups, beginning with those who have the highest chances of being scheduled in the remaining time in the DV 2023 program. The first group, that is, those who have the highest chances of still being scheduled in the DV 2023 program in the time still remaining, are those who submitted their DS-260 in the first few months after the release of the DV 2023 result and whose case numbers are within the interview scheduling range of their embassy. Every week, I present to you the current interview scheduling range of different embassies where you are assigned. So in case you submitted your DS-260 in the first few months following the release of the DV 2023 result last year, and your case number is within the interview scheduling range of your embassy, then you are amongst those with the highest chances of being scheduled in the time still remaining in the DV 2023 program. The second group are those who submitted their DS-260s during that same period, that is the period immediately after the release of the DV 2023 results, and whose case numbers are just above the current interview scheduling range of their embassy. In this final month of interview scheduling, the current interview scheduling range at some embassies will move to include new case numbers. And so in case your case number is just above the current interview scheduling range of your embassy, if it happens that the current interview scheduling range of your embassy moves, it may include your case number, and that gives you a good chance of being scheduled for interview after those who are already within the interview scheduling range of your embassy. Now, you continue to hear me mention those who submitted their DS-260 in the first few months after the release of the DV 2023 lottery result. all because of the DV 2023 interview scheduling approach that I spoke about earlier. The cases concerned entered their embassy queue several months ago, and so at this time, when cases are being scheduled from the other end of the embassy queue, those cases are most likely to be the ones coming out to be scheduled. Now, in the third group are those who submitted their DS-260 during that same period that I spoke about, that is, the first few months after the release of the DV 2023 result, and whose case numbers are far above the current interview scheduling range of their embassy. Such cases have a low chance of being scheduled for interview because in case the current interview scheduling range of their embassy moves, it is not likely that it will get to the highest case numbers at their embassy before interview scheduling comes to an end in this year's program. And so that gives those who are in this third group low chances of being scheduled in the time remaining in the DV 2023 program. Now to the fourth group, and this fourth group includes those who submitted their DS-260s in later months. As I indicated earlier, the approach applied to the DV 2023 program put such applicants in the position of disadvantage. So in case you happen to be in this fourth group, then unfortunately, your chances of being scheduled in the time remaining in this year's program are low. And in our final group, we have those who are assigned to embassies who are not interviewing any diversity visa cases this year, or who have come to the end of interviewing diversity visa cases. There are some embassies where interviews for the DV 2023 program were conducted, and those embassies have come to the end of interviewing cases. So applicants who are assigned at such embassies or at embassies that did not interview or do not intend to interview any diversity visa cases during this year's program, then unfortunately, your chances of being interviewed are like inexistent. Now, what is even more unfortunate is that there is no notification to that effect. Embassies that are not interviewing diversity visa cases this year or who have come to the end of interviewing diversity visa cases will not come up and announce to the general public or to applicants that such is the situation. So some of you will still hope that those embassies will begin or resume interviewing DV 2023 cases. But it will only be at the end of interview scheduling that you will realize that they are not interviewing diversity visa cases, or they are not interviewing more diversity visa cases. And that is even more unfortunate. So that is the order when it comes to the chances of those of you who are still to be interviewed in the DV 2023 program. And I thought it wise to share it with you to give you an idea of how likely it is that you will still be scheduled for interview in the time remaining in this year's program. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching it. See you, God willing, in the next one. Goodbye.